In this video, I want to give some advice to entrepreneurs. If you are a person who's starting a business or thinking about starting a business or perhaps going into partnership with somebody, then what I have to say in this video might be of benefit to you. People approach me all the time with queries and questions about starting their own business. They've come across my videos on YouTube. I have a lot of videos on YouTube about small business, entrepreneurship and so forth. People know as well, some people do anyway, about my background in small business since 1986. And so what I have to say about small business is of interest to them and of benefit, I hope. So people pay a lot of attention and then they contact me and say, oh, I saw your video on YouTube about business or small business or whatever, and they contact me and they might be looking for a partnership agreement, or they might be looking for a shareholders agreement, or they might be looking for me to cast my eye over a lease for a shop unit or a new business that they're taking over, perhaps a coffee shop or something of that nature. And in each case, when I give them the quotation, because I understand and know what's involved, they don't. They disappear. Now, that's fine. I have plenty of clients, and whether I've plenty of business, I've plenty of clients, I've plenty to do. But the point I'm making is that if you are going to start a business and you're entering into a partnership, a proper partnership agreement is going to need to be drafted correctly. And it is only when a dispute or a row arises later on that that partnership agreement will be scrutinised very, very closely and will be relied upon. In relation to a shareholders agreement, precisely the same principle applies. It'll be scrutinised and reviewed very, very closely by solicitors probably if a dispute arises down the road. It's only when a dispute arises that you really want your agreement to be robust and to stand up to scrutiny. So when you're starting off in the full flush of friendship and enthusiasm for your business and so on, it's understandable that you might say, me and Mick or me and Mary were great friends and all we want is a simple one-page agreement or something of that nature. That, quite frankly, is not the position. That is not the case. That is not what you need. And if you think you do, then you're making a mistake. Likewise with casting my eye over a lease, for example, for some sort of a business or commercial premises. It's not enough for me to cast my eye over the lease if fundamentally the person who's giving you the lease, A, doesn't have the consent of the landlord, or B, there may well be a planning issue, or C, may not have good title, or D, may not have a lease that was granted from a person who had good title. So lots of things can go wrong, but in order to address these issues at the outset and to do things properly, you will have to pay a solicitor, pay an accountant, pay a tax advisor to advise you on different aspects of the startup of your business. And if you can't afford that, if you simply need or can only afford to have someone cast their eye over an agreement in some sort of a very cursory fashion, or make a very simple partnership or shareholders agreement that will simply disintegrate under pressure, then you are probably not ready. The time isn't right. You need to wait, because you cannot rush headlong, arse over heels into starting your own business if you simply cannot afford to obtain decent legal or taxation or accounting advice, because it is so fundamental to your business, it's so fundamental to your success that you cannot cut corners. So yes, I can give you a one-page partnership agreement, but it'll be useless and I won't do it. Yes, I can give you a one-page shareholders agreement, but it'll be useless and I wouldn't do it. And yes, I can cast my eye over a lease, but it will be as useful to you as a chocolate teapot, quite frankly. So if you can't afford professional advice at the outset, it's too soon. It's too soon. Hang on, wait another while, because the agreements will be scrutinised closely by lawyers when there is a dispute, or if there's a dispute, and inevitably people change, their circumstances change, their relationships change, and disputes can happen fairly easily. Human nature is human nature. Hope you find this video useful. If you do, I'd appreciate if you gave it the thumbs up down below. Thanks a lot.